I drank that red monster on Friday, and the market went down. I I don't know. I don't know. That's weird. That's weird. Every time I drink that red monster, the market goes down. Is it so? Is it the red monster that makes the market go down, or is it the fact the market's going to go down and subconsciously I drink the red monster? That's a mind bender right there. Mind bender. I tell you what. I apologize for making the market go down. You can blame me if you want to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Infinity, Don, Bob, Rex, Eric, Rosalind, Don, Rob, Sergio, Ryan, Dan, Merle. Welcome everybody. Maurizio, Anthony, Diane, Ted, Larry, Joseph, Zub, Indy, Arturo. Welcome everybody. David, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Thank you. And Mark, I gotta update. I was saying I was gonna update about the truck over last week, and I actually have a positive update to share, and I'll get that recording up here in a little bit. Update about that. Anyway, Marianne, Laura, glad to see everybody. Gary, Doris, Larry, Leah, Kathy, Kevin, Wade, Goose in the house. From Hangovers to Happiness, glad to have you. Don, Carlene, Stephen, Alan, Rob, Rungamer. Glad to see everybody. So yeah, the low on Friday. Now here's the deal. The S&P 500 futures and the Nasdaq all continued down after the close, like in a violent way, and bottomed. Looked like they bottomed. We're up almost 70 points off the low in the ES already, and my platform trading view is being completed. Let's see, we have to reload it before I pop it up. It's just sitting there with a white screen. Weird. Let's see if it'll load. Reload, refresh, and then I can share it. Always like to. This computer, I tell you, like I came in and changed a bunch of settings, and then I had it ready, and then nope. Every day, it's like once I start the streaming software, it does something off the wall. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Let's see. All right, I need the morning show, not the weekend list, and there we go. Yeah, now we're cooking with some grease. Now we're cooking with lard. All right, here's the ES right here. Dun, 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 dun. Look at this 5-minute chart. Zoom this back up. Look what we did. Look what we did. Right here on Friday, after the close, we plummeted right down to 53.94. Holy moly. What was the low? What was the low? Low. 53.99 is what it says on that candle. 53.95.75. There it is. 53.95.75. Yeah, 53.94 was the low. 53.95.75 was the close. We opened yesterday at 6 p.m. and we've been ripping. Whoop! Right up above the 5-minute. This looks positive, so there could be a chance we make a lower low today. I would be careful betting on that, though. That was a final flush out type situation right there. They flushed it out. Now, if we break below 5,300, S&P 500, 5,300, odds are we're going down to the weekly roadmap line. All right, this is very serious right now, very serious. We have about 100 points at the close on Friday. We got below the ideal spot. Things tend to get a little over enthusiastic on the downside, so we need to be back above this. If we hang out here, we're right at the bottom of the danger zone. It's not what I really wanted to see, retesting the bottom of the danger zone, but that's where we are. So if we get below this 5,300 area, and that is a crooked line right there, right back below the 5,300, odds are we're going down to the weekly roadmap line. If you are new here, the roadmap line is available. It's available for $5 in the description. $5. Or you can click on the channel title thing and the video that's I'm like my favorite indicator. It's got like arrows pointing at it, this orange line. You can watch that video and it'll tell you how to do it yourself. It's a DIY thing, but for $5, I mean, come on. You can't even buy coffee for that much in these days. You can't even buy a hamburger for that much. Anyway, I guess a cheeseburger maybe. I don't know. Get one of those cheap cheeseburgers. So S&P 500 weekly, 4,500. 4,500. So we break 5,300 and close the day under 5,300. This is any day. This is today, tomorrow. It really tips the odds we're going down here. Now, if we get below that, right back to the bottom. Back to the bottom where we were in October. Now, why am I that bearish and pessimistic? That's the way the charts are set up right now. I also highly think that we are set for a touch of this level up here before we do that. But I would be remiss if I did not warn that this is a very dangerous, perilous place in the market right now. Hopefully everybody understands the situation we're in right here. I thought we would gap fill. We gap filled plus some. A little over enthusiastic on the gap fill. Does give me cause for concern. I drink the orange one. Hopefully we can, green doesn't work that way. Like if I drink the green, it's not a green day. The red, always a red day. And it's always this one, this red one. The watermelon doesn't work that way. It's got too much green on it, I guess. I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. That means I may never get another prediction right again. Another presentation right again. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining. It's not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instruments. So no stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. There's a significant risk of loss in all trading. If you need that personal financial advice, somebody to tell you what to do, you're like, I just don't know what to do. Just can't make those decisions yourself. You need to hire and consult a financial advisor that's got a fiduciary duty to help you and give you advice based on your personal financial situation, which is not me. That's not what I do. Coming up on the calendar this week, interesting week. We have CPI, PPI coming out in the middle of the week, and we have FOMC meeting next week. So coming out right here, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, kind of about on Wednesday, CPI. Now, interestingly enough, on Friday, we got the jobs report. Seemed like it was good. It's good news for the rate cuts, right? Market positive, but the Sahm rule, S-A-H-M, S-A-H-M, Sam's rule for a recession, we came in 4.2%. We actually took the unemployment rate down. Did they do that on purpose so that the incumbent didn't have a recession in place? That's the real question right there. Did they lie and bump the unemployment rate down? The government government's never truthful, but the government is very, very slanted on a bias right now. It's really frustrating. So the Sam's rule kicked in, and so it's unlikely we do a 0.5 point rate cut next week based on employment. All right. Even though the jobs were horrible, the number of jobs added was horrible, lowest in years. And if you take out all the government jobs and look at it, we've probably been in a jobs recession for 2 years. When you take out the missing million jobs, you adjust everything down. We've only been adding about 100,000 jobs a month. We've lost almost 2 million full-time positions since COVID, and we've added 3 million part-time positions. The number of people working multiple jobs has hit all-time highs. This is not great. Not great. And you know what's funny? We look at the fact we've lost. I think the official number is 1.2 395 million jobs we've lost since COVID. If you take the boomer retirement rate, baby boomer retirement rate of about 10,000 people a day, and you apply that, that's almost all the missing full-time positions. That's like those people are retiring and they're not getting replaced with full-time positions. That's but I think that's what's happening. I think that are older than me, the baby boomers, people my parents' age, what is it, 50 whatever to 65, 1950 whatever, or 1940 whatever to 1965. The people in that category, they're all retiring. We're gonna have like 10,000 of those retiring a day for like the next 15 years or some craziness. So we're losing those full-time positions that those people are retiring out of, and we're not replacing them with full-time jobs. We're replacing them with part-time jobs. And when you look at the numbers, that almost matches. U.S. born citizen jobs have declined, while foreign born citizen jobs have increased during that same period of time. It just kind of fits. It's not the narrative that's being spread around by anybody that I've read. So you heard it here first. Anyway, so we've got the CPI coming out on Wednesday. We've got PPI, Producer Price Index, unemployment claims on Thursday before the market opens. And this one's tends to be much more volatile than this one. And then, at least for the market, volatility, when I say volatility, I don't just mean dropping. I mean, up and down. And then we have these on Friday coming out right here after the market opens. Those have been a little bit spicy lately. A little bit spicy. So, we'll see what happens this week. Yeah, internal outsourcing of jobs. That's interesting. The internal outsourcing of jobs. And that's this week on the calendar. Hopefully I haven't bored anybody to death on my jobs analysis. We've got the market opening in like 2 seconds here. We're gonna get a little pop. We're up 37 points here. And we're off right there in the target zone. I think we're gonna get back above, we're gonna hopefully get back above the gap. If we get out of the red zone, right there's the target. 750, maybe even 58, 59. We could go up to 6,000. It's entirely possible. I am biased long right now. That hurt on Friday. I was for the person that called me a perma bear, I was definitely feeling the pain on Friday. Not bearish inclined at all in my positioning. And watch for this to rip back out. So the line in the sand right now, we go, that's right there. We take back that 55, 65 zone, that high from right back over here. Before we even got to this, we take back that high, and don't just stall out right there in the consolidation. Highly likely we're going to get the continuation right on up to those targets. That could last us well into October. Now, when October hits, possibly next week when the FOMC. Now, if we do some sort of epic, giant move up in the next couple days, watch out for FOMC next week. That could be a devastating reaction. If we pop and hit this target this week, that would be the that's the other yikes. If we pop up and hit that target this week, we could get a crash on the FOMC. If they don't cut a half a point, if they only do a quarter point cut, the market could be that disappointed and do that. So that's the AI. What was it? I think it's Forbes put out a article over the weekend showing how visits to OpenAI's website have absolutely plummeted, almost 95% in the last couple months. All of a sudden, the AI play, I don't know. I don't know. The consumer definitely feeling the pain. We could do this and then right back down next week. Stay tuned. We're going to see what happens here. This could be an epic rip today. We could go up 150, 200 points. Be careful betting against the market. This could be one of Goose's 10 days. You know, Goose commonly talks to me about the fact that there's about 10 days in the market each year where all the gains are made. This could be one of those today. We could see this. You see a giant green candle in here today. It just goes. Could be crazy. So be careful. Bet against that today. All right. We took S5TW, stocks above their 20-day, all the way back down to the 40s. Turn this off of log mode. Wasn't the bottom. Got down in the middle. We've kind of got this uptrend cooking, though. Been cooking on an uptrend. Haven't maxed it out quite all the way to 100. Was that high enough before we go visit the bottom? We might. S5 FI. This is stocks above their 50-day moving average. We brought that average down to 58. How fast we fell. We went from up here at 80 all the way down to 58. It was like a fake out. We didn't make a new high. Haven't gone down to the lows yet. This will eventually come visit the lows. Then S5 TH, stocks above their 50-day, or their 200-day. God, get it right. Stocks above their 200-day moving average. Just hovering in the zone. We pulled that back just a little bit. 66.9, 67% basically. And eventually we're going to take this to the bottom. I'm not sure we aren't going to make a higher high first. Yeah, the head and shoulders never played out. I don't think it's going to at this point. We're not going over 100. Like that just, you can't have more than 100% of the S&P 500 stocks above their 200-day. We haven't really made a giant peak like we did back here. So for those that say it's just like 2021, not quite. Not yet. We need another spike. Now, if we go look for something like this, unfortunately, we don't have a lot, but there's something like this, kind of. We did make a final spike and then plummeted out. That was the rates freak out. Let's see. Any other? Yeah, we lose it back in here. Just a couple dots and can't really see it. Don't have a long history on this one. Thank you, TradingView. So this right here looks more like what we've got right here, 16, 17, 18. But that dropped here and then dropped into COVID. We could definitely see a move like that. Market patterns. All right. Looking at ES, as I said overnight, we're showing some strength. We may take that move on Friday all the way back. That was 1, 2, 3, 4 bearish days in a row. We may take it right back. In Q, right to the roadmap line. Bingo, bango. That was kind of what I expected to happen. And it was a 618. That's a measured bounce. Be cautious. This is probably the biggest reason I'm be careful betting against this market. That was a 618 retrace. This is a measured bounce. This can set up. Look at this. Look. Watch this. I have two favorite patterns, right? The market roadmap bounce and the measured bounce. And when they come together, which they just did, this is my rocket ship pattern. This could go all the way up here. 22.6. This could be a crazy move. Absolute crazy move. I don't even have an example of this happening in the recent past, especially on NQ. This could be a giant move up. This could be what they call a blow off top. Just make no sense. It just go up so fast, so hard. Makes absolutely no sense. That opportunity is present in the chart right now. It needs continuation. It needs to break out above that high, and we may see it rock and roll all the way up here. Ridiculous levels. Now, QQQ, maybe like, well, I can't trade in Q. How do I trade this? Right here. Look at this. Did the same exact pattern. QQQ is just in Q divided by 41. Roughly. Same exact pattern. This could take QQQ from right here, up here, 543. Even though I was doom and gloom, this opportunity is present on the chart right now. This could do this right up there. Kapow. Kapow. This would be an epic blow off top. Be careful betting against that right there. Now, if this fails and we start getting below the 786 here, we're probably going lower. 400. Can it fail? Like the measured bounce setup, it's like kind of 50-50. Maybe it's 65-45. Or 65-35, I guess. 65-35. Get my math right. Wake up. Drink some more Monster. 65-35. Higher. Fail. It could be worse than that. It could be 55-45. But keep an eye on it. We break through that red zone on the S&P and the Q. Things are going to get spicy to the upside. And it could be absolutely crazy. Russell also bouncing off the roadmap line. That low, that high. Also a measured bounce. Same exact pattern. Same exact pattern. These two have the exact same pattern. Only one missing is the ES. We did not quite make it down to the roadmap line and certainly didn't make it down to a 618. But we did touch the bottom of the red zone, and we may launch off of there. Excuse me. Oil, looky. Watch for this to find support right here. If we get below this, if we get below 66, I may push that down to 65. If we get below 65, probably going to make a lower low than we made back here. Right there. I think we're going to touch that 66 area and bounce. But if we get below here, we're coming on down. Lower low, possibly all the way down here. That would be a watermelon seed squeeze playing out to the full. Right there. And be careful. OPEC can announce they're cutting production in a big way. And this go ripping out of here. GC. They got to balance prices with production. They need money. Some of those countries, all they make money on is oil. GC, look at that. Down to the bottom. Holding the box really well. Break out of the top, going up. Break out of the bottom. We haven't had a close out of the bottom, you know, over here. But the box wasn't really formed over here. So watch for a close down here below these lows. And if we do, we're probably coming back down this box on GC. But this is basically the same pattern that we see on NQ and Russell. Set up right here, moved up, retraced, 618, and the roadmap line in the same spot. This could be the rocket ship pattern. We could rip out of here. And you'd be like, well, silver, not known for giant moves. That's not true. Look at that move right there. Look at that move. We went ripping just a few days. Like that. Looking right here. We could be all the way up to the target in less than 2 weeks. All right. Be careful. I don't know why the sound would cut out. If you're having sound problems, that's probably, I don't know, that's me. Looks like everything's stable. And it's not, it shouldn't be. I have no dropped frames, so Shouldn't have dropped anything. It's going to be on your internet side, not mine. All right. Not sure on the audio glitches. Maybe a YouTube thing. I've no dropped anything according to the software. So. Curious one here. This on the futures, not great. On the, we have an opportunity to save this baby right here. This is a measured bounce, not a roadmap bounce. This is not the same pattern as silver, Russell, NQ, QQQ. A little bit different. We have the opportunity to save it here and go launching off as a measured bounce. It went a little deeper than I wanted to see, but here's the deal. It brought like, I'm going to say like almost 95% of the top 100 cryptos into alignment, not counting stable coins. But like 95% of those altcoins all came into alignment with this pattern right here. There's a few outliers that don't look like this. But when I was going through the charts yesterday, I got kind of excited because it brought Ethereum and Ether and Bitcoin into alignment on the same pattern here. We get 3 green days in a row on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Historically, that has kicked off a 1 to 3 week rally. I usually say a 2-week rally. So we usually get, if we get 3 green days in a row on both Bitcoin's chart and Ethereum's chart, which is kind of rare that happens, we usually get 2 weeks of continuation. And it's usually higher. Now, it's not every day is green, but we usually get a nice move up for at least 2 weeks. It can last longer. It can last shorter. At least 2 weeks is typical. That's something to keep an eye on. If we actually close it green and on both Bitcoin and Ethereum, does it have to happen? No, it can fail. I mean, there's instances of it failing, but if we get green, there's 3 green days so far on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Hopefully we see that can get continuation. I certainly would like to see it. Dollar consolidating in this area. Next support down, next resistance up. We're just hanging. I think eventually we're going down to the mid-90s. NKD, nice fat deep retrace. I was warning about that. Rejection off of that high up there. We got down to the minimum requirement for a measured bounce. It is not a roadmap line bounce. It's not the rocket ship pattern. But nonetheless, this can go ripping off. And I think at this point, the roadmap bounce, and yeah, they basically align on the same target right here. 44,000 for Japanese futures. And for those of you that don't think the global economy matters, this was flushing out before we flushed out the US charts last week. Yeah, this could matter. So I've been keeping an eye on that. All right, what's moving today? And ASML. Right down to the target. Imagine that. We do have support even further down. We've met the minimum target. This can reverse here and go ripping. FNGU. Curious. Oh, measured bounce. Secondary roadmap bounce. That could go ripping off. Rocket ship pattern. We're seeing this rocket ship pattern show up a bunch of places. Tesla. Wow. Talk about that was a 20-point rip right back down yesterday, or yesterday, last trading day, for a measured bounce and roadmap bounce at the same point. If we get back above this high, it's probably game on. So I basically rejected that high. Got to get above that to go higher. Confirmation. So I'm going to put a new alert right there. We break above those highs, game on. We don't. The expectation at this point, more of this sideways, sitting on to drifting slightly lower under that downtrend of highs that goes all the way back all the way back here. Started in November of 21. Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. We're trying to break through it. When we do, could be an epic rally. Dun, 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 dun. Watch out for that breakout on Tesla. BA. Oh, look what we did on Friday. Goose. Sledge. Look. Dun, 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 dun. Lucky or good? Lucky or good? You tell me. I drew that arrow back here. We touched it. Exactly. Took longer than I thought, but dang. That could be the bottom on Boeing. That was it. That's what I needed. That final flush. That was what I needed. Could it go lower? Sure, but it met the ideal support. I drew this ideal support back here in December before the first door flew off the first airplane. We hit it on Friday. And guess what? Next move. Potential. This could take years, all right? This is not like going to happen next week. This is going to happen probably 2-3 years, 4 or 5 years. Right there. That was the first move. That was the retrace. Next move up can be pretty big. All right. Dell. Measured bounce set up in place. Resistance at the roadmap line. Cautious. This can result in a move down here. It's a measured bounce on the non-log scale. It may be a measured bounce on the log scale. Which one do we need to use? I'm not sure. We got to break through this resistance. If we do, it's going to be the non-log scale. If we don't, it may be the log scale and we have to go deeper. Arm. Watch out for that. Break on down. That could be the same setup though. Could be the measured bounce, the rocket ship bounce. Met the minimum touch, 50%. If you take it off log mode, 618, really close. GHSI, probably coming back down. That's pharmaceutical, biotech stuff. SMMT, Summit Therapeutics, that's a biotech. Don't care. Riley M. The senior notes on Riley. I think the family made an offer to buy out everybody on Riley. I know the Nordstrom family made an offer to buy out. Companies have been just whacked, are getting buyout offers. So obviously this looks like a little better than going bankrupt here. Maybe. These are due next year. Senior notes, Riley M. This is, if you're unfamiliar with what this is, it's B. Riley Financial. All right, those were senior notes on B. Riley Financial. They took a bet on, can't remember. Pulling a blank on the name of they bought a bunch of shares and assets of one of the struggling retailers, and then a short attack happened, and like one of the big name hedge funds short attacked them, and that happened right there. Welcome to the game of Thrones, I guess you might say. So this company could go out of business, but they have epic insider buying. Like every time they dip, they get huge amounts of insider buying. So the insiders don't think this is going bust, or they think that, they're going to buy it out. So insiders buy this like crazy, and they're not selling, unlike NVIDIA. So it's an interesting story. It could go bust. Everything can go bust. Coin, right down to the zone, right in the target zone. Want to see this hold. If crypto can turn, this will turn. If crypto continues down, watch out below. And if you like leverage coin, Connell is a way to play. Oop, hitting the wrong button. Potentially meeting the minimum for a measured bounce. If it is a logarithmic scale and we need to go a little lower, 13 would be the support on Con L. 2x leverage long. Be careful on leverage. Leverage cuts both ways. That is dangerous. Cold. Yeah. Founder of B. Riley made an unsolicited offer, $7 for all outstanding shares. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I just kind of been casually keeping track of that. And cold. Yeah, just chopping around. NG1 is the chart you should look at. Rejection off the roadmap line. If we get through, that's a big if, capital I, capital F, if we get through, this can go right up here, $4, pretty quickly. MSTR, it trades like leveraged Bitcoin, even though this is not leveraged Bitcoin. These guys, their business doesn't really matter. It's kind of like whose line is it anyway? The business doesn't matter. They invest all their money in Bitcoin and holding a measured bounce and a roadmap bounce. There's huge opportunity for this to rocket if it's going to do it. If, lots of ifs. Capital if, 210 up here. The market has a giant opportunity to rocket higher. Toyota looks like we're going to retrace it to the roadmap line. I mean, Toyota. TSM, excuse me. Taiwan Semi. Thinking TM, not TSM. TSM. Watch for that pip bounce. Sorry, I misspoke. I know it's not Toyota. Oh, I really want to see it there. It can hold here and go. I really want to see it touch that one more time. Let's just look at TM real quick. Yeah. Doing the same sort of move, but not at the roadmap line. Bounce. SINT. Whew, what a nasty chart. That's a dumpster fire. Yeah, 1 for 200. Think about that. Maybe you had 1,000 shares over here. 1 for 200 split. Now you got 5. 5 shares. What the fudge? And it did it over here. So that's a 2,000 multiplier. So you had 2,000 shares over here. Now you've got 1. Sorry. It was never trading at $20,000. These multipliers right here. At the 200x with 100x. I mean, whatever. I mean, there's another one right there. 30x. Whew. That's a garbage pile. That's a dumpster fire. Don't trade that. Don't. That's a nasty chart. BULZ, that's leveraged technology, innovation, FANG. Want to see this hold. Bounce right there. This is not the rocket ship pattern. Went too deep for that. But I want to see it. This is a measured bounce. I want to see it hold and rocket right up there. That upside. Let's see if it lines up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's the target. Right there. PLTR. Listed in the S&P and rocket ship, baby. How high do we go? Got the prior highs right here. God, I think I bought that at 7 and sold out at like 20, 15. Double my money, but maybe I should have held on. Oh, well. CVNA. Probably coming back to the roadmap line. That's what that looks like to me. Cars are interesting right now. August was apparently a very strong month for cars, even though consumer has been pretty weak. I guess the little bit of interest rate pullback we had Pull to the wrong chart. Come on. Right chart. There we go. DGS2. Check this out. We've actually pushed the interest rates down. The market rate. The real market rate. Down to here. 3.75. The Fed's still hanging out up here. 5.3, 5.33 in between the quarter, 5 to 5.5, and so the rate hangs right in between those two. And quarter point cut puts it, just down here. Half point cut brings it on down. 4.66. I don't know. Real market rates plummeting out, and people feeling like they can buy cars, I guess. And the high cost of repairs, a lot of things getting totaled that probably shouldn't be totaled. Forcing people to buy new cars. And AMAT, that looks like it's going to finish up coming on down. Not the rocket ship pattern, not even a measured bounce pattern. That looks like a 3-wave. Looks like we're going to get continuation down. SPXL. Interesting. Held the minimum for a measured bounce. Didn't quite touch the roadmap. That can launch off. Right up here is the target. Right there, 170. SOXX. That one's probably got a stock split coming up. I bet you. I bet you they're going to stock split this before long. SPXL. This is leverage, 3x leverage on S&P 500. SOXX. Ooh, that got deep. We held the 76. This can be a measured bounce. It got quite deep. The move down here would be not unexpected. Amazon. Rallied up. Didn't really participate last week. Interestingly enough, that may be strength. That may be indicating we're about to break out and this participate in that blow off top in big tech. QCOM. Right down. Measured bounce. In place. It's a measured bounce on top of a measured bounce. This did a measured bounce, non-log scale. Measured bounce. That's a measured bounce on this giant move. Measured bounce on this little baby move. Watch out for this thing to rip. It can go fast. This 300 area, probably the target. ARKB. That's ARK Bitcoin doing nothing. USD. Ultra leveraged semiconductors. This big question mark. Is that going to push this lower? I'm not sure. Not sure. It very well can. NVIDIA. Basically sitting at the roadmap line. If it breaks below, watch out below. This, I don't think the QQQ, the NASDAQ, is going to do a big blow off top without NVIDIA participating. This is a setup that can go much higher very quickly. Very quickly. Apple could go up to a $4 trillion company. Lots of stuff interesting right now. Like this whole setup we got cooking. This one, look at all the week. Big tech. That's a measured bounce though. Don't count this stuff out. TIL. Dumpster fire. Classic dumpster fire. See that plummet out, reverse split, reversing. Everybody got some optimism. This is classic. Classic. Dumpster fire. Biotech on top of that. Don't trade it. W-Day droppers. So I go pull the down $2 and put it on the list in the pre-market. I don't update the list as we come live. So workday was down $2 or more. Now it's only down 83 cents. Recovering here. If we can break above that 618. Game on. 330 right up here. MRK. Merc. Come on, low. Go. Go chart, go. There we go. Rejected the roadmap area. This looks like it may need a further retrace. To me, there's the resistance, there's the target, there's support, and we're just hanging. S-bit. So what am I saying on Merc? Nothing is clear. Nothing is clear. S-bit, short Bitcoin. If this is going to plummet into the abyss, that is not looking like the indication we're going to do that. If we're going to plummet to the abyss with Bitcoin, short Bitcoin is not telling that story. Short Bitcoin looks like it's about to plummet to the abyss. So that means that Bitcoin may spike. RYDE. There's nothing here for me. That may launch off and go to 1 million. But Wheeler Real Estate is another dumpster fire. Man, look at that back-to-back split, reverse splits. Almost a month apart, or 2 months apart. Nasty. APO. Watch out for that. That can be a rocket ship pattern. Let's just clear the drawings. Oh yeah. That may rip on APO. Well, let's give you a target. What good is it if you tell us it's going to rip and don't give us a target? Right up here, potential for 132. TTD. That found a lot of resistance. Look, it wasn't even participating in the pullback last week. This may come back. So this is on a different path than a lot of the rest of the market. Watch out for a retrace on TTD. As far as bonus trades go, I don't really have anything spicy. But for my dividend players, check this one out right here. Right here, 1070. It's not the most bangingest historical pattern. The losers are definitely bigger than the winners. And when we do it on an adjusted basis, it's just a little echo inside here, not even a roadmap bounce. This may push on up at 1044 area right there. So if you're a dividend player, watch out for that one. This is like a long-term hold. This is not like a buy it now and, oh my gosh, sell it right here. This would be a buy it here and, oh my gosh, buy more. And, oh my gosh, buy more. And hold on to it. It's every dividend when we have it on the dividend adjusted chart. If it does bounce off the roadmap line on the dividend adjusted charts, 91% of the time we go higher. So this is a little trick here. It's an interesting one right there. Anyway, my other scanner for bonus trades showed nothing this weekend. Not a single chart in 4,000 charts fired off an entry. That tells you how bad the correction was on Friday. Be careful out there. I'll be back with you same bad time, same bad channel, 9:15 tomorrow morning. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm going to wrap it up here. Have a good day, everybody. Watch that S&P. Watch those levels I defined out there. Got to get above that 55.65. If we get below 5,300, watch out below. So watch out for today. We could have an epic pop of a day. Could. I kind of expect just a drift back up to the top of where we started on Friday. What I really expect. And my bigger expectation is to get continuation higher. Nothing's proved it that we're going to break that so far. So have a good day. Be careful out there. The account you save may be your own. We'll see you same bat time, same bat channel, 9:15 tomorrow morning, going through what's moving. Bye for now.